We're about to take it back.
What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, it's your boy. They call me boss. This is football. It's money, man, and we just popping on real quick, trying to see what's happening. You know what I mean? Last time we was live, we did a recap show. We're gonna be doing the same thing again today. Another recap show on fantasy draft strategies. Hero running back versus zero running back in the early rounds, heavy wide receiver, early QB, late QB, all of that good old stuff. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna try to fast forward through all of the ads that's on there. Some of them might play, and tonight, 6:30 Central Standard Time, the new episode in the quarterback projection series will be premiering. So I hope you guys are tuned in for that as well. And let me see. Let me just get everything queued up. Get everything queued up. Man, I have to keep changing the time because I'm in the midst of doing a couple of things simultaneously. So I'm still kind of pressed for time. So as we going over this episode, this old episode that I promised you guys, I'm still gonna be doing a little work over here on the side. So, I'll jump back in. Never mind all that, just because I really want to go over this old episode. It's from last year where we talking about different draft strategies, and it caused a lot of tension, right? Good and bad, because some people feel like, the ones that I didn't mention, their strategy or whatever, or if I said one particular strategy wasn't a good strategy, it kind of ruffles some feathers. But I I just want to listen to it. We did this last off season and just kind of see what still is relevant. Yeah. So like I said, man, I got some more stuff going on. We just gonna watch this. We're gonna listen to the old show. All right. So just stick with me, man. Just stick with me. But this show gonna be fantasy tailored. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys got anything fantasy related, you want to talk about draft strategies in particular, man. And give me some game because I might not know all of the strategies, right? So yeah, that's all. It's a two-way street. I ain't scared of learning. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this episode, man. Let's go. Y'all ready?
Show title. Football is money. Know your position. Draft day. Dominance.
Draft strategies. What's the best way to build your team? Host.
They call me boss. The vibe.
Real talk. Real knowledge.
Fantasy war room energy. Let's get it.
Football is Money isn't just a podcast. It's your all-in-one destination for football, betting, fantasy, and exclusive deals. If you're rocking with the show, make sure you're locked in at footballismoney.com, where everything you need is in one place. First up, the podcast. Every episode of Football is Money and get access.
The host to stack your squad just behind player. So today's show, we talking straight draft strategy. I'm talking hero running back versus zero running back, wide receiver heavy bills, quarterback timing, and where you want to pick in 2025 to stack your squad just right. And if you want to run your league and not chase it, then tap in, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Because over here, fantasy football is money.
Hey, what's up, Sky Missy?
Yeah.
Appreciate you for tuning in, shouty.
The off season. The off season. We off.
You're locked into Football is Money, the show that breaks down the games, the bets, and the plays that pays. Hosted by They Call Me Boss and Zay. And you're listening right now on footballismoney.com.
All right, let's kick it off with one of the most talked about strategies in the game, and that's the hero running back strategy.
Strategy number one, hero RBs.
That's where you take one elite running back in the first two rounds, like a Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, and then you start stacking wide outs, tight ends, and maybe even your quarterback after that. All right, so let's continue with the pros of the hero running back strategy. Number one, you get to anchor your team with one elite running back who's getting 20 plus touches every week. That's volume you can count on. Two, you got flexibility to load up on wide receivers, tight ends. You know, you still get value with guys like Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, if he's still there, Tyreek Hill, or a top tier tight end in rounds 3 through 5. Number three, you got a built-in insurance. You don't have to chase every running back breakout because you already have your anchor, the kind of guys that's going to give you 20, 25 points if they're healthy. You can lock that in early and then build your roster with wide receivers that wins matchups. That's balance, that's control. So the cons of the hero running back method. Your RB2 could be shaky. If you miss on mid-round running backs like Bijan Robinson, Joe Mixon, then you'll be patching holes. Number two, you got injury risk. If that one running back goes down, you might be toast. You'll need to be sharp on waivers. And that running back depth can dry up real quick. It's called hero for a reason. If your hero goes down, the squad might collapse. So yeah, this one's solid, but it's not bulletproof.
Strategy number two, zero RBs.
All right, so now.
So yeah, hero running back, man. You know, they're just kind of making sure that you get you a bona fide running back in the first round. That's it. Some guys want to go quarterback or wide receiver, tight end. I seen a guy take a tight end in the first round. Not saying you can't win like that, but I believe it make it a little harder when you're doing stuff like that. So let's go over. Let's hear about the zero running back method.
The next one could be even more risky, but it got believers. The zero running back strategy. That's when you don't take a running back until maybe round 4 or 5 or later. You stack wide outs, grab a tight end, maybe even a top tier quarterback, then wait on your running backs. For me, it all depends on the format. In full PPR with 2 flex spots, I might play around with it, but otherwise, I'll stay away from the zero running back strategy. But it do have pros to doing this. One of the biggest pros of the zero running back strategy is you maximize early round value. You can start your draft with receivers like Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and that's heavy firepower.
Right.
You dodge running back bust. So you're not gambling on running backs who fall apart early. You hit waivers hard. Every year there's a guy who comes out of nowhere. You got space to pounce. If your league's PPR and wide receiver heavy, this could hit, but you better be ready to hit the waiver wire. Cons of the zero running back strategy. Running back production still matters. All right. You need points from that position, period. Number two, you're banking on injuries and depth chart shifts. That's dangerous, my boy. Number three, matchups get tougher. No running back advantage means that every week is a grind. This is the boom or bust strategy.
Yes,
you might
it is.
look like a genius, or you might be out the playoffs by week 7.
Strategy number three, WR, heavy builds.
All right, strategy number 3, wide receiver heavy build. Some people love going wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver to start. Now look, I like me some elite receivers, no question. But if you go too heavy too early, you might end up with guys like Tony Pollard as your RB1. And that ain't gonna cut it for you.
No, sir.
weekly consistency. Number 2, you got flex
We don't know what Puka Nakua looking like this year. He's got some allegations going on with him right now. So if you got him on your roster from last year or something like that, or thinking about drafting him, you might want to think twice, think again, because you never know. If he misses a few games, that can wreck the season. I'm just saying.
dominance. If your league has 2 flex spots, it's a cheat code to go wide receiver heavy. Number 3, matchup proof bills. Wide receiver travel, no game script can kill their value. If I start wide receiver, I better be getting the dudes with 10 plus targets a game. No wide receiver threes, no gadget players. Give me pure value. The running back pools gets thin, and it gets thin fast. You might have to rely on K-Trey. You might have to rely on Najee Harris.
Rumba.
Number 2, a lack of balance. You could dominate the air and drown on the ground. Number 3, you got to draft upside backs late, and it's not optional. So, wide receiver heavy sounds good on draft day until you're facing a dude with 2 RB1s and you're praying for check downs. Keep that in mind.
Strategy number 4, early QB versus late QB draft position.
Let's talk strategy number 4.
Now, this the one that caused me some trouble last year. Just let me know if you agree with this right here.
Early quarterback versus late quarterback. This one's simple. Do you want that elite quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen early, or do you wait and grab a guy like Brock Purdy or Jordan Love later in the draft? For me, unless it's super flex, I'm waiting. I need those early picks for skill players. The pros to the early quarterback strategy. You have set it and forget it production. Hurts and Allen, Jackson are giving you nearly 25 plus points almost weekly. Number 2, edge over streaming teams.
It didn't go like
you don't
that
gotta sweat matchups. All right. Number 3, it locks in weekly stability. You know what you're getting. I ain't mad at it if the value is right. Hurts in round 4, that's a go. But round 2, I might pass on that one. That's just me personally. All right. So late quarterback. The pros to having a late, drafting the quarterback late. Number 1, you got more running backs, more receivers value early. You stack your core, then draft the quarterback later. Number 2, you can play matchups, especially if you draft 2 decent quarterbacks late. And number 3, quarterback position sleepers are everywhere. There's always one that hits. Right. If I take a guy like Sam Darnold late and stack up my skill spots, that's a win. But I got to have a backup plan. I stream quarterbacks. Me personally, quarterbacks, sometimes kickers. I stream those guys. At least one of them. At least one of my quarterbacks I'm streaming and looking for the matchup. Okay, draft position. Where you pick matters. Let's talk about where that is, because your strategy might shift based on it. Early picks, you eyeing guys like Saquon, Jamar Chase. Middle picks, you're making balanced moves, running back, wide receiver combo. Late pick, you might double up on wide receivers or go risky with back-to-back high upside guys. I love middle of the pack, like 6 or 7. I can see the board develop. I don't have to reach. I still get elite pieces, But, we can't choose because most leagues is going to be random. Right. I get it. But you are at a better advantage if you can get to a spot where you are comfortable at drafting that. Somehow I always end up middle of the pack. I do decent. But if I can have it my way, I either have the top 3 pick or the last 3 pick. And that way I can get the players that I want more rapidly. Because when you 5, 6, you got to wait for that to come all the way back around. It'd be kind of nerve-wracking watching the players on your draft board just disappear. All right, y'all. So that's just my take. And here's what we covered. Hero running backs gives you a rock. You just need to build around it. Zero running back is risky, but with the right setup, it can cook. Wide receiver heavy draft, high ceiling, but don't ignore the backfield. Quarterbacks, wait unless it's super flex and draft for value. In draft position, That's your blueprint. Adjust accordingly. This ain't about playing scared. It's about drafting smart, staying fluid, and building a team that can win in any format. Now, the reason these different draft strategies are important is because it breaks down the four core draft strategies that fantasy managers debate every year. Hero RB versus zero RB, wide receiver heavy, and early or late quarterback, which one you want to take. I try to explain how your draft slot matters more than most people realize. If you're picking early, go ahead and get you a dominant running back and build around them. That's your hero running back. But if you're stuck drafting late, you still can get a top 10 running back, but you still have the luxury to go running back, wide receiver. You still can go with the zero running back, or wide receiver heavy becomes a viable play, especially in full PPR formats. And we also tackled the quarterback draft dilemma. And the official stance, unless it's super flex or 2 QB league, wait on the QB and stack value at running back and wide receiver. To wrap it all up, just don't get seduced by the big names too early. Build depth, then hunt upside. There's no one size fits all, but hero running back is the safest strategy in standard and PPR formats. Zero running back and heavy wide receiver, it can work, but they require aggressive waiver wire moves and sharp in-season adjustments. Draft smart and draft strategic. Next up, we diving into in-season strategy.
All right, so that's just the like the draft strategy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I came up with last offseason. And most of it, 90% of it, I'm still riding with it. I don't want to draft the quarterback early, even though guys be thirsty and just drafting all the quarterbacks in the first couple rounds. It's crazy. It's crazy work. But I still feel like, go after your running back, wide receivers first, right? You want to lock that in because, it's a lot of quarterbacks that's going to pop. All those guys that drafted Joe Burrow early, Lamar Jackson early last season, they had a hard time. And even if they ended up winning, it was still nerve wracking trying to find a quarterback to plug and play every week. And that goes to show that you can try to get the right quarterback in the first, second round, but it don't always go like that, man. Sometimes the guys that's sitting on the waiver wire is the guys that's gonna really, take you where you need to be. And last year, I want to say that was Matthew Stafford. I know in a couple of leagues I was in, he was sitting on the waiver wire, man, and somebody went and got him, and he ended up throwing 46 touchdowns. So, you can't get any better than that. But I guarantee you this: whoever ended up with Matthew Stafford last year, they did not waste top three round pick on him. So let's see what else we got on here. I think it's talking about
waivers, trades, matchups, and how to manage your team like a general. Keep it locked, keep it real, keep it right here. Football is money.
Stay tuned, fantasy football fans. The football is money fan, whether you're a rookie or a fantasy football vet. Big time rewards, cash prizes, exclusive merch, and ultimate bragging rights. Sign up at footballismoney.com and secure your spot. Keep listening to the podcast for updates, strategy breakdowns, and insider tips to get you ready for fantasy dominance.
Hey, yo, what's
Tell
happening?
a friend to tell a friend. This is your time to turn football into
What's good
money.
with you?
Hashtag football is money. Hashtag fantasy football 2025.
Yes, sir.
Segment 2. In-season strategy.
All right, yeah.
How to manage your team.
It just goes into in-season strategy. I think we're a little bit too far out to start talking about in-season strategy. So that's where we're going to end the podcast on the recap or the playback on the fantasy blueprint.
We're about to take it back.
Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in. the episode for the AFC East quarterback projections gonna drop tonight at 6:30 Central Standard Time, man. Hope you guys tuned in for the premiere. Thank y'all for tuning in, rocking with me real quick. I'm your host, they call me Boss. This is Football is Money, and we out, man. Appreciate you.